Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Willow Tree Kitchen.
Willow Tree Kitchen is a one-woman owned and operated bakery currently slinging delicious vegan cookies, mixes, and baked goods out of Kitchen Local in Amesbury, Mass.
Follow Willow Tree Kitchen _ on Instagram or go to their website at willowtreekitchen.com for more.
Greetings, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends. Welcome to Spoiler Sleepover, part of the Nerdcast Network. Join your hosts, Jason, Michael, and Rob, as they bring you on a slash-tastic adventure through cinema. Now, enjoy the show. It will be a real scream of a time.
And we're going.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
So, I hope you all are enjoying our new, improved intro and outro song.
Yes.
It's all thanks to Jason Michael here. It was our brains working together to make a dream come true.
It's the spoiler keeper.
Yeah, it's a spoiler keeper. It's nothing, no trademarks. We're not breaking any rules.
He's got a full head of hair.
Yes, full head of hair and a full mouth filled with teeth.
Yes, and his nose is there.
Yep.
It's basically as if a specific other keeper of things went and got a bunch of work done in downtown LA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He wears jorts.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Now I hate our character.
And not like this fashionable jorts. Like, he wears like the ones that go past your knee that are oversized.
What is he, a dad?
Yeah.
Is he like Ben the Soldier from Always Sunny? There we go. All right, I was like, am I going to make this joke and it's going to fall on deaf ears?
No, that's a good
Woo!
one. Oh, man. It's Always Sunny is amazing.
Should do a spoiler on Always Sunny. No, that would be way too much.
That's a whole different type of horror.
Welcome!
Per usual, we're going to jump into a little bit of what's been keeping us up at night.
Yes. So I've been continuing with my watching a Halloween / horror movie every day for the month of October. Day 7 and 8, we're of course getting ready for 2 of our episodes. We've got The Wolfman from 1941 on day 7, and then The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, on day 8. Day 9 has kind of been a movie I've wanted to watch, and honestly, every picture I've seen of it has just been kind of freaky, so that's kind of been like, ooh, okay, and sparked intrigue, is Night of the Demons. Then we got...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Day 10, I was looking through Hulu. This kind of intrigued me, but it's from 2023. It just came out. It's called The Tank. Water monster movie. It's forgettable. Very forgettable.
Yeah, I had seen that you posted it, and I never heard of it before, and I was really curious if it was good.
Yeah, the monsters in it honestly just look like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, but in like slight hunch dog form. It's weird. And then the 11th, which for anybody who's listening should hopefully know this one, Evil Dead Rise, our very first episode ever. It's fantastic. The movie still rules. Still absolutely rules. And then as of day 12, no idea just yet, but we will find out. Other than that, just been killing it with streaming, playing lots of spooky games, zombies, Pacify, Phasmophobia, screaming at imaginary things on a computer screen. Great.
This morning, October 8th. Yeah, it's the 8th of October. So you guys will be getting this later this week. But on the 8th, this morning, I watched the first teaser trailer for the reboot / remake, I don't know how to label it, of The Toxic Avenger.
That's out?
It dropped today.
Ooh.
And my goodness, am I excited. We lost Jason Michael.
Just gonna grab my phone in real time, watch this.
All right, we're gonna do this. The place I found it the best was Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
But there's part of the teaser that is not anything I remember from the original, but there's a specific scene from the teaser.
Oh! Is that Dinklage as Toxie?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Jason Michael just watched the trailer himself.
That rules.
There's the ending scene of that teaser is even down to the costumes. It's directly from the original movie. I think it's amazing. I just hope we get to see the Frylater kill. I hope they do that again because that's one of my favorite parts from the original. I just wanted to bring that up because that's really fucking exciting. We've been waiting 2 years now since that was announced to see fucking anything other than the poster.
Yep.
So we don't get to actually see Toxie.
I do love the fact of we got old Toxie, giant muscle bound, like chunk looking ass, and then now we have Peter Dinklage as the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. And his mop, which has a build like it can kill people from the original movie, is now like glowing in this one. Which I think is just fucking awesome. They just they leaned into it. They were like, we have a budget now. This isn't Trauma budget, which is $2.22. Yep. This is a fucking Hollywood budget.
This is gonna be like the brief intersection of what's keeping us up at night right now.
I think we really should. There's just, in general, I don't watch trailers very often. I'll watch a teaser if I see that it's like 32 seconds or however long teasers truly are now. Because that's like over a minute long, and that's called a teaser. Yeah. Which is, most trailers are a little over a minute to like 3 minutes long now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they didn't really show much
at all
in that.
No.
Nasty Lads, a kill, which I mean, usually when they show kills in movie trailers, it's like, cool, well, now I know the entire movie. I know that person has no point.
Nothing.
Which, speaking of which, this is more for the what's keeping us up at night. I saw the poster for it and just was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to watch the trailer for it. Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. I saw the trailer last night.
It gave everything away.
Okay, so it's Eli Roth.
Which kind of made me disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, I love Eli Roth his work, but like that trailer was just like, here's everything about the movie. It's like watching any of the new Fast and Furious trailers. It's 4 minutes for a trailer,
right? And
here's everything that happens in it besides how do we take down the bad guy.
I've only ever watched the first Fast and Furious movie, and I was just like, well, I could do without this in my life. I've never watched one since. I do think the point of the Thanksgiving trailer being the way it is because the script's been out for years. Anybody who knows this the backstory of this movie already knows the story. This was supposed to be Eli Roth's first movie. This was like his passion project. This was something he really wanted to do, and nobody wanted it. And so he ended up going and becoming basically the gore porn writer-director that we know and love now. Yeah. Doing Hostel and Green Inferno and
Aftershock.
Aftershock, yes, thank you. I've read the script because it's been out there because he released it because he thought it would never get made. It's a great movie. There's an awesome kill where a piece of building falls down and splats somebody's head.
Nice.
But no, I am amped for Thanksgiving. It'll be great to see who makes more money during Thanksgiving because the new bullshit Hunger Games prequel comes out on Thanksgiving also.
What?
Yep. There's a prequel. A fucking prequel where Snow is in the game from what I gathered from the trailer.
Which one's Snow again?
He's an old dude who like runs the games in like the movies / books as far as I remember.
I think I've only seen the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Don't
go further. I did this same thing with Harry Potter. I watched all of the movies up until they told me that the last 2 movies were one story split into 2 parts.
Yep.
When I watched the first part and never watched the last part. Because I was like, this is bullshit. I don't know
what happened.
Yeah.
Woo!
I literally just asked people. I'm like, how does it end? I'm like, all right, great. That sounds stupid.
Spoiler alert for the prequel. They're still hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Starved, actually.
All the food's gone.
Yeah.
They've eaten all the mockingjays and snakes or whatever the fuck they did in this movie.
Your Day 8 watch is what we're going to be talking about today, which I'm really excited about. Well, that sounds like you've got I like your organizational watching because mine is just so fucking scattered and all over the place. So I went to the theaters and went and watched Saw 10 or Saw X. So yeah, it was really good. Mm-hmm. I'm in love with it. I think it's fantastic. I can't wait to watch it again, honestly. It was very different from any other Saw film that's ever been done before. It's really very heavily focused on John Kramer, not Jigsaw. It's not really focused on the traps. It's more focused solely on John Kramer. I don't want to get into too much detail. If you're really interested in hearing a lot and actually hearing a spoiler on Saw 10 or Saw X, I highly recommend going over to Dead Body Bathtub Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They did an entire spoiler. It's a solo episode. They normally do 2 movies per episode. They just did an entire spoiler on this one movie, and it's fucking fantastic. I unfortunately watched Spirit Halloween.
Really?
It was really bad. Don't do it. It's a licensed movie that seems very reminiscent of like the worst of the worst Goosebumps episodes that possibly could be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's basically a made-for-TV movie, just made very poorly.
A sci-fi B movie.
Sci-fi B movies are better than this.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I watched that on my birthday, the night of my birthday, which was the 6th of October.
Woo!
I watched VHS 85, the year that I was born.
You're old.
Now, yeah, as I say, now you all know how old I really am. I'm kind of flabbergasted, to be completely honest, because I'm seeing a lot of articles and people talking about how this is the best entry into the series since the first movie, and I personally disagree. I think it's the worst entry into the series.
Get him.
Yeah, I fell in love with the VHS movies because it was giving independent writers and directors a voice for a little while, or even like not necessarily independent, but really small writers and directors a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, they grabbed huge names to write these shorts. And aside from one of them, they weren't good. I don't want to get into too much. We are planning on doing a VHS breakdown at some point in time, or a timeline. We have an idea for it. It'll happen eventually. Other than that, not horror related at all. But if you are a fan of Wes Anderson and you have Netflix, I highly recommend jumping onto Netflix. Wes Anderson wrote and directed a bunch of short films based off of Roald Dahl's stories.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they are fantastic. So there are 4 up right now. I've watched 3 of the 4. So there's The Rat Catcher, which I watched.
Mm-hmm.
The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which I also watched. The Swan, which I also watched. And then Poison is up and went up, I believe, last week at some point. I still have not watched it. I do plan on watching it tonight at some point. But they are fucking fantastic. If you like Wes Anderson, you're gonna love these shorts. They're just great. So I plan on watching that tonight. And then as of the recording of this right now, the Fall of the House of Usher has gone up on Netflix, which is Mike Flanagan's latest joint, and that's on Netflix also. I will be watching that.
I feel like that just dropped out of nowhere. I remember hearing about it. I don't remember ever hearing like any build up for it or any like this is the date it's dropping. All of a sudden, bam, here it is.
Yeah, I'd heard that he was doing something based off of Poe's work, and I was excited about it. I was like, all right, cool. I didn't. I had heard nothing since. I heard it was getting dropped in October, and so much shit is getting dropped this month, but not until like the end of the month. So I just assumed I would wait until the 27th to see it, but it's out. So
nice.
By the next week's What's Been Keeping Us Up at Night, I'll have some more input on whether it's good or not. So yeah, that's what's been keeping us up at night. If you have anything at all that you would like to talk about, you know how to reach out to us. We're still posting what we've been watching and asking you what you've been watching. So reach out to us. Let us know what you've been watching. Next week, we're doing a live stream with Chris O'Brocki for the 35th anniversary of Halloween 4.
Dun, dun,
It's super exciting. And we're going to do some shout outs to people who have been interacting with us. We got a little giveaway coming up too. We're really excited about. So that's enough of that. Let's jump into the episode.
Back to the show.
So today's episode 2 episode dose of our personal top 3 singular movies and or franchises is my pick, and it's literally my all-time favorite movie of all times. All times.
Lay it on us, Rob.
It's 1982's John Carpenter's The Thing.
It's such a great movie.
I will say it until I die, my dying day. Gun to my head. Someone says you can watch one horror movie for the rest of your life. Only one. It's this one.
I'm okay with that.
This year alone, I rewatched it again. Didn't need to, but I did anyway. I took notes too. I didn't need to, but I did anyways. I've watched it 5 times this year.
Nice.
5 times. I fucking love this movie.
The day that we are recording this, again, watching a horror / Halloween movie every day for the month of October. Today was The Thing, but man, oh man, for some reason, Prime and YouTube and all the things where I had it just would not work. But from what I remember from this movie, it's a great fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
What I remember is it's a very big monster whodunit. And it's awesome.
Quite literally, yeah. It's fantastic.
Great movie.
Great movie.
It's a fantastic one.
So, the movie opens with a spaceship, a UFO, an alien ship, zooming by the screen with one of the coolest title cards ever. Which, they literally, the title card was backlit, it was painted, and they set it on fire. It came out really cool. That's how it looks like it bleeds into the screen. It's they actually shot that. And then put it over.
If we could get anything like that nowadays. Because I don't remember there's a lot I don't like to remember about the 2011 prequel. The Thing.
Yeah.
Besides the CG. I don't remember how the title card is, but I would like to think it was probably similar to this.
It's exactly the same, but it's CGI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's no way they knew about it / did it the same way.
No.
There's one thing I like about that, and with the amount that I got to watch before the internet crapped out on me, was I know the connecting line to this story now.
Right.
I know what happened before, why they're actually chasing this dog, instead of just watching it for the first time and going, why the fuck are these guys chasing a dog?
Yeah. So the prequel would have been, the prequel is actually a good movie. It's a good prequel. Except for the CG. Because they shot it with practical. They made all of that practical. And then somebody higher up, backers who had the money in it, were like, well, no, we have this technology now. Why would we do this? People want CG.
Because it looks like shit!
And it does look like shit. And so they digitally erased all of the practical that was shot and put in CGI instead.
See, the things that are CG in that movie could have been fantastic practical. Like, there's some daring shit that they did, like, when it's just melting into the other guy's face, when it just opens up and goes and chases the guy. That could have been fantastic practical.
Oh, 100%.
But fucking moneybags idiot who has no idea what goes into practical effects and what goes on in movies, and it's just like, I have the money.
Yeah.
Fucking...
And they
fuck you.
As far as I know, they say that the all the shots with the practical that they did are gone. Like they didn't just erase that and put it. They like deleted it.
They backlit it and set it on fire.
So
pricks.
I'm hoping that somebody's just an idiot, or there's enough money in the game that they have it and they're just not going to release it. But I just hope in time that we get the practical release.
The next Thing movie that comes out in 32 years.
I want to say the fans of The Thing deserve it, but I want to be way more selfish and be like, the true fan of The Thing fucking deserves it. I need to see that shit.
David Gordon Green's The Thing.
Yeah, it pisses me off. But we are now in, and there is a helicopter chasing a dog. When I skip over, the dog is being shot at. There's all this shit. The best part about this sequence is once the helicopter lands, the dude gets out and he's screaming at everybody at the outpost in Norwegian.
Yep.
He tells you the movie. He's spoiled in Norwegian. So this is spoiler sleepover. If you haven't seen The Thing, I feel bad for you, but do watch it. But here's the best part. This is the original spoiler. John Carpenter's a fucking genius. So I'm going to spoil the movie via the Norwegian spoiling the fucking movie at the beginning of the movie. The Norwegian is screaming at them, get away from that. That's not a dog. It is an alien. It wants to change you.
That's fucking horrifying.
So, literally, at the top of the movie, you're told the movie, but if you don't speak Norwegian, you have no fucking clue what's happening.
Imagine the Norwegian, like the one Norwegian that was in the in the theater watching that when it came out originally. It's just sitting there, hears that and goes, well, what the fuck?
There's a report of them showing it in Norway and not actually doing anything about the vote, like what he's saying.
Translated to English.
And people walking out being like, what the fuck? Like you just told us the whole movie. What's the point of
God damn it?
Around? The real reason of sticking around, even though I've said this, and if you haven't seen it, you still watch it. The real reason of watching this movie is the fucking practical.
Oh, yeah.
The movie also never lets up.
No.
From the minute the movie starts till the minute the dog gets let into the cage with the other dogs. This movie does not let up. And the practical is out of fucking control.
Yeah. So it's an Antarctic outpost with a bunch of different people from Kurt Russell, Keith David, Wilford Brimley, a whole cast of characters. Mm-hmm. And just fucking desolate Antarctic outpost.
Amazing.
Shocked that there's even a helicopter going around. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So the Norwegian jumps out, grabs a grenade, try and blow up the dog, and has the best butterfingers ever. And it drops behind him next to the helicopter, and so he bolts. And the helicopter explodes, killing whomever was flying the helicopter, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was the pilot who grabbed the grenade, and the other guy with the rifle is just like, stop!
He's like,
no!
Deuces!
Yeah, he took off already. The other guy's just like, grenade! Oh, shit.
Yeah. So the dog jumps on one of the guys at the outpost. Norwegian shoots, misses, hits the dude in the leg.
Yep.
Goes after the dog, and then
everyone dives off to the side. They're like, Jesus Christ! The guy just walks past, and it's like, oh, I guess he's not coming for us.
Yep. And then we have the dumbest move ever. You're in fucking Antarctica. Gary, one of the characters, older gentleman, decides to bust out a window with his gun.
Seriously?
Instead of just opening the fucking door, he breaks a window.
Great. Now there's going to be a draft, Gary. Thanks. Which also, did you know Gary is spelled with 2 R's?
Yeah.
That feels weird to me.
Yeah,
his character is Gary with 2 R's.
It's Garry.
Yeah. Gary.
Gary. And I'm not entirely sure Gary is his first name either, because a lot of these people go by their last names throughout the movie.
Childs, McCready.
Yep. Gary shoots the Norwegian dude right in the eyeball. Mm-hmm. Which is a funny moment of somebody fucked up. But you see he's wearing goggles. You see the explosion in the eye. And then when he falls, he doesn't even have fucking goggles on. He's got nothing on his face. There's no goggles anywhere to be seen. He's just goggleless.
Continuity.
Yep. Done fucked that one up real good. So then fast forward, they bring the dog inside. The dog's just kind of wandering the base.
Seriously.
We cut over to McCready playing Chess Wizard.
Yep.
He's like, you're getting slow in your old age. And then it wins. And
cheating
bitch. And he just pours his whiskey into the fucking into the computer. Just like, you guys are out there for how many months? Now there's nobody gets to play chess? What a selfish fucking thing to do.
I'm pretty sure that's like his little stand.
I mean, it could be, but still.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he's the only person who uses it because like people talk about it like McCready's shack or something.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it is out in the shack. That's right. Which is so weird. So here's a real funny thing. Did you ever play the video game?
There was a video game?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, there is a thing, the video game.
Damn it.
And you get to walk through that base.
Oh.
And it is amazing. The cool part about the game is there's a temperature gauge, so you can only stay outside
this is 2002.
Yep.
Where can I get the Thing video game? Amazon.com. Okay. Oh, but that's a disc. I don't have a disc. Keep going.
Yeah. It's
$100.
Yeah, buddy. I used to have it. I really wish I still had it. It's a fun game.
I believe it.
It's a lot of fun. It's kind of a puzzle game too, because you kind of have to figure out where things are at, and you've got minimal supplies, so you got to kind of make everything last as long as you can. You can start little fires to stay warm, but because of the wind and the cold, the fires don't stay for so long. It's quite interesting. But the dog is just kind of wandering the base, doing its own damn thing. Nobody thinks twice about it. at that point, MacReady decides that they need to go to the Norwegian base to go take a look-see to see what the fuck is going on. So they get out they decide to take the helicopter in what they say is bad weather, but it doesn't seem terrible. Like, honestly, the bad weather comes later. They get out to the Norwegian base, and it's
all sorts of fucked.
Oh, it's so fucked.
Everything's gone to hell. It's like a dude frozen with like his face.
So they go into the base, and there's a guy who is he's cut his wrists.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he cut his own throat, but there's an axe, so I'm assuming somebody else cut his neck, but
like the frozen blood that is dripping from his wrists.
Which is crazy, because can blood freeze?
I would like to imagine at that temperature.
That's the only thing I could think was like maybe there is a specific cold, like because they say it's going to get 100 below at one point during the movie.
Yeah,
which is crazy to think about that places can get that cold. I mean, we live in New England and it gets like 30 below here, and it's insane.
Frozen blood occurs at a temperature of -2 to -3 Celsius. Huh?
What is that in degrees? Because we're from America.
Yeah. 32 degrees Fahrenheit.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is it? Hang on. From studies done, blood freezes at around 31 degrees Fahrenheit. It is lower than the freezing point of water.
Well, that's interesting.
Now we know. And knowing's half the battle.
We could have froze our blood last winter.
You know, you're not wrong.
It hit like negative 32.
It hit like -40 here.
Oh my god.
And then there's a mountain like an hour north where it was like -80 something.
That's crazy. My youngest sibling lives in Vermont, and they were telling me that it hit -50 last winter. So -50?
I went outside to, let the dog out so he could use the bathroom. And as soon as I went outside, my mustache froze.
Yeah.
And my nose hair froze. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. Dog, hurry up, man.
Worst feeling ever. So if you don't have facial hair, you're lucky.
And if your blood's in your body, I think you're also lucky.
Yeah.
Not like this guy.
No. So yeah, they see that guy. I forget who he's with, but he's with one of the other. Oh, he's with Doc.
Mm.
And he starts collecting all of like the paperwork, everything he's talking about. MacReady trails off and yells for him, and there's a giant ice block.
Yep.
That's just sitting in an Antarctic garage, basically.
Yep.
And something has clearly been taken out of it. They go outside. There's also a burned creature. Humanoid. It's got like fucking 6 arms and 4 sets of legs and 2 faces melted together. So they pack all that shit up and bring it back to the base. Everyone takes a good old look-see at it. Blows my mind that the thing's still smoking when they've taken it. Because they pulled it out of the fire pit, wrapped it up, put it in a helicopter, flew back, bring it inside, and it's still smoking, which is just...
You would think there would be some form of suffocation in the helicopter, because you can't really, open a window in a helicopter.
The sliding doors just open the entire time while it's that fucking cold.
Oh, God.
Not gonna happen.
This movie is... I love movies and hate them. I love to hate them when it's the feeling of desolation and being alone. And the fact that it is literally this group of people at an Antarctic base who are shocked to even see a helicopter.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there by themselves, and now there's a whole new horror that has come to their base. They were having a normal day playing chess master.
I don't know if it's still normal to this day, but I'm assuming people are still doing research in Antarctica.
Yeah.
But almost every country has a research base out there. I don't know how fucking close they are. I feel like
that would be a war.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Norwegians are all that violent, but I could be completely wrong.
I mean, the ones at the beginning of this movie were.
Yeah, oh my god. Well, for good reason, though, because they were trying to kill an alien dog.
It wants to become you.
Yep. So we get back to the base with the alien. They do an autopsy on it and realize that all the organs are exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
There's no multiple organs, but there's multiple arms. 2 faces melding together as one is what it looks like. Such an iconic scene. And so the version I ended up watching last night was a 4K version, which is real weird seeing it in 4K because everything's so crisp. And all of the practical looks almost kind of corny to a point.
I can see the strings.
No, it's not just that. It's especially this one. The face looks wax as shit. Like it doesn't.
Oh.
I think it needs to be watched on DVD or VHS because of the lower quality. It really benefits everything, because also the lighting's lower. The lighting was so fucking high in the 4K version.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, it didn't necessarily take away from me, because I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's your first watch and you see this, you're going to be like, this is real corny, man. And you're like, it isn't though, I promise.
Fuck you, you're wrong.
You're totally wrong. You just wait. There's another transformation that still holds up.
There's several.
Yeah.
And it's all haunting.
Yeah. The dog, the random dog, the alien dog, ends up scaring the shit out of a few people. And they ask Clark to put it in with the other dogs. So he does. And the alien dog seems a little... I keep saying alien dog. But the dog seems very apprehensive to go into the cage with these other dogs at first. And it goes in real slow. And you can see all the other dogs kind of look concerned. And it just sits there. And just kind of like stares straight ahead.
Well, before this isn't where like the dog is walking around and you just see a shadow shot of it walks into the room with somebody.
Yeah,
and the person just turns around and that's all you see.
And we don't know who it is because it's shadow.
Yep.
It's also the most animated turnaround I've ever seen in my life. Like, he like swings his whole body into the turn like, hello? But yeah, so the dog ends up in there, and this is when we get our first
WHODUNIT
actual shot of transformation.
Mm-hmm.
The dog's face starts twitching and shit, and then its face just splits open like a fucking Venus flytrap.
It peels back, dude.
Yeah, and there's the dog skull inside that then falls out, and there's like a big tongue inside.
It makes me feel so bad for the other dogs. It's so horrible.
Well, especially seeing as... So it gets these, like, tentacles that pop out of its back, if you can call them that. I wouldn't even call them tentacles. They're like these, like, blood strings almost.
Tendrils.
Yeah. And then...
It reminds me a lot of the veins in part 3 of Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, watching that still makes me just go,
the marionette when he makes the dude, quote-unquote, commit suicide.
Yep.
Yeah, that's such a good fucking movie. Oh, man, we'll have to do that at some point. We'll figure it out. We'll do an entire...
That is my favorite Nightmare.
Nightmare on Elm Street, we'll do all of them at some point. Yeah, Dream Warriors is my favorite.
Dream Warrior!
And New Nightmare.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, so the dog alien reveals itself as an alien.
Yep.
If
only we spoke Norwegian.
I know, right?
Damn it.
It shoots some weird goo at a dog, which is the one and only time that I feel bad, because the dog is clearly terrified it's getting squirted with something.
Yeah.
Because they didn't use like a fake dog for that scene.
Yeah.
But Clark comes back and he hears something and he starts screaming, and McCready pulls like the fire alarm.
Yep.
And everyone keeps running. And McCready goes, "What is it?" And he goes, I had to write it down because I was like, this is hilarious, because he just goes, he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I don't know. There's something in there and it's weird and it's pissed off." And then they finally see what it is.
Yep.
And McCready calls for Childs to grab the flamethrower.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
Like, every base has a flamethrower.
Well, I mean, in Antarctica, I would assume so. Things must freeze over so quickly there. You have to figure out a way.
You know, honestly, I never really thought about that. I was just like, oh, I fucking got a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Go for it.
They've got multiple locations, and so they have to melt a path, to get to
True.
different spots.
Yeah, I mean, shoveling in Antarctica can get real fucking tiresome.
Can you imagine getting 2 feet shoveling with the way that it snows there, and then you turn around?
With the amount of wind, too? You're just like, and it's filled in again. Great. Thanks, wind.
So yeah, they grab the flamethrower, and McCready opens the gate and fires feels like 3 shots into the alien dog, and then everyone opens fire, and we see a fully furred dog being held up, and it gets shot, and that's when Clark kind of fucking snaps, because Clark's a big bear who loves his dogs.
Yep.
And they have to stop him.
All the fucking dogs are now dead.
Yeah. So the alien dog gets pissed, decides to grow some giant arms and pull itself up towards the ceiling, and that's when Childs shows up, and McCready tells him to fucking shoot it.
Yep.
So fucking hit that thing. And we set it on fire. So.
Haunting.
Yep. Cut to the second autopsy of the movie already.
Yep.
And they cut it open, and there's just a giant fucked up dog head in there with some weird ass teeth. That one's cool. I feel like it would have been a little bit cooler if they'd pulled it out.
Yeah.
But it still looked cool. All the sound effects and everyone looking visibly disgusted.
Squelchy.
Yeah. It was really cool. But that's when Wilford Brimley's character, kind of figures out it's an alien that's trying to disguise itself as other things.
Yeah.
Kind of looks that way anyways.
Yeah.
Which he's completely fucking right. But, which is funny. Should we trust Blair?
This whole movie could have ended as soon as the dog showed up, when the guy showed up and just said, "Get away from the dog, it's not a dog." And it's like, wait, I took Norwegian in high school. Put that dog down.
Well, they also don't even...
Title card.
Yeah, right? I forget, they keep saying it's some Swedes. They keep calling them Swedes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're Norwegian.
God damn it, somebody didn't see the prequel.
It would have been hilarious if one of them spoke Swedish, and they were like, yeah, it's not Swedish, man, I speak Swedish. And you'd be like, son of a bitch!
I speak Norwegian, though, and I know what he said. Sick! And everybody has a drink at the end of the day.
Yeah. They end up going through the videos, all the stuff that they grabbed from the Norwegian base, and in the video, they end up seeing that there's like a giant circular thing in the ice. It's clearly a fucking spaceship.
Yeah.
It's a UFO.
Yeah. Nowadays, UAP.
Yeah. I fucking hate that. It's a UFO.
But, I mean, the logic is it's UAP, unidentified something. It's no longer aerial phenomenon because they're underwater, they're on the ground. It's too much to remember. I just call it UFO.
Yeah, it's a fucking UFO.
Actually, fuck you, nerd.
It's an unidentified flying object. It's flying no matter what.
Yeah.
Why are we changing this? It's ridiculous.
Because it swims. Shut up, nerd.
Swimming.
It's like flying underwater.
Yeah, it's just flying underwater. I mean, what happens when you go into outer space? You're swimming. If you are out in space, you are swimming. To move, you swim. It's the same fucking thing, and that's
haunting.
A lot of scientists have said if there is alien life living on Earth,
they're doing the fucking front crawl.
It's underwater because it mirrors outer space.
I mean, that, and also the fact of I feel like the number has definitely changed over the years, but I'm pretty sure last I heard is like we've explored maybe 20% of the Earth's oceans.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there is shit that we haven't seen. And it's horrifying.
It's obscene.
There is something under the water that's probably just like... There's probably a fucking Goliath or Leviathan down there. It's just like biding its time going soon.
Yeah, seriously. There's the Cthulhu's down there waiting for us.
Yeah.
There was something found last year or this year. I can't remember, but they were like, it predates... like prehistoric life. Like there's no way it's been here before dinosaurs sort of thing.
God damn it.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah, I feel like it's every year they discover something new because technology is getting better where cameras can survive more pressure so they can go deeper and deeper into the oceans. It's just waiting. It's waiting to crack open something that should not be cracked open.
I've seen this movie and I don't like how it ends for humanity.
Yeah. This Pacific Rim Job or Godzilla, whatever you want to call it. It's one of those. It's all of those. We've been warned and we're still doing it.
Ignorant.
Yeah.
But the thing.
Yeah. So we get the video. And the video shows that there's an alien, which is great. And then they decide that they're going to go back out. They need to go check this shit out again. Mm-hmm. But first, before that happens, we get our first human-alien transformation with Bennings. And it is amazing. He runs outside. He's holding something. Mm-hmm. You're not sure what he's holding until he falls down on his knees into the snow and reveals it's this big, giant, fucking alien red hand thing. And turns and slowly looks and opens his mouth, and it's the greatest fucking noise ever. I love the alien scream noise that happens. Oh, it's so good. And then they flamethrow the fucker.
Yeah.
Because you have to. Fire. Yeah. Fire kills everything.
Fire. 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 Fire.
Yeah. So Bennings is killed. He's our first to go. At that point, while that happens, Blair disappears. Mm-hmm. It's never a good sign. But it turns out that Blair is just fucking snapped.
Yeah.
Now
he's gone off the deep end and does not trust anybody after that.
And it also begs the question, was Blair turned already? Was this his ploy, or was he really just being like, we all have to stay here?
Was it, I mean, could be. Was Blair the person in the shadow that we saw, or was it Bennings, or was it like Bennings got to Blair, or it was Blair and he got to Bennings and the aliens biding its time
I
in
don't
Blair.
think the shadow was Blair. There was too much hair on top for that to be Blair in that shadow.
What if he just went,
Yeah, right.
oh man, this dog and this Norwegian problem's got me all crazy. Fluffs his hair all over the place.
No, I don't think that was him. But yeah, so Blair destroys the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Destroys all of the communication systems.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Windows trapped in there, and it's clearly hit him because he's bleeding from his head.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is trying to figure out how to stop Blair. He's got a gun. He's got an axe. He also does the OG gun handling thing from back in the day, which always cracks me up in older movies, is instead of just holding the gun and pulling the trigger, they motion the gun forward. Like they're like...
Bang! Bang, bang!
Yeah, so like if they move their arm forward, the bullets are going to move faster or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
They
But,
proved that on Mythbusters.
yeah. He ends up out of bullets, and so he hucks the gun, because that's what you do. And then he gets tackled with a table, and they knock out... They jump Blair and fucking knock him the fuck out.
I will say, it is always the funniest thing in movies when it's like, bang, 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 click, click. Huh!
Yeah.
Throw the gun and it usually just goes, ow, bitch! Ow!
Yeah, you've missed with all the bullets. The gun's not going to do a goddamn thing.
Your accuracy pulling the trigger sucks, but your accuracy throwing the gun, on point.
You just got to just Jason it up, man. Just get some throwing darts, man. So they put Blair out. They lock him up out in one of the houses.
I swear I'm doing better, guys.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's the best. With the noose hanging in the back, in the foreground.
Yep.
So Doc figures out that there could potentially be a way of testing to see if anyone's infected. And it's like a blood transfusion situation where they're going to take people's blood and put it in with healthy blood, and it will work. Well, they go to get the blood, and all the blood has been disposed of. Basically,
of course.
They've cut them open. It's all over the ground. At that moment, all trust completely breaks down. Nobody trusts each other. They start blaming each other for everything. And then MacReady figures there's been 3 people who've had access to the blood at any given time, and says, all right, we're going to tie these people up because that's what we do, right?
Yep.
So tie up, we don't trust people. So Doc, Clark, and Gary get tied up. Now, Clark, I feel bad for Clark. I still remember the very first time I watched this movie, I felt bad for Clark. His character is written as the one that you're supposed to be keeping your eye on the entire time, because he seems like he's the one who could be infected.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
Old Shifty Clark is what they used to call him in high school.
Yeah. That's a really unfortunate nickname. But
How'd they know?
He's such a soft-spoken big dude.
Yeah.
And like he loves animals, and it's like, all right, now I understand why people are scared of me. The big quiet. I'm not quiet. That's a fucking lie. But I love animals too. But yeah, so they get
Should we test your blood?
Let's do it. So they start drawing their blood because they're going to figure out a way to do a test at some point. So they get their blood drawn, and MacReady then just kind of fucks off and decides to do his captain's log.
Yep.
Star Trek reference for those of you who are Trekkies out there.
Captain's log. Shit's fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. And he records just kind of what's been happening. So there's a record. So after MacReady records his little log, I am honestly drawing a blank right now why Fuchs went outside, but Fuchs goes outside by himself at one point and ends up finding a ripped piece of clothing that has MacReady's name tag on it.
That's right.
Yeah. And then disappears. Like, but Fuchs just gone. And you're like, where'd Fuchs go? Well, they figure out that Fuchs is missing.
Yep.
And so like we need to find him. And they're also trying to figure out how to do a blood test. And they're like, well, Doc's no use right now because he's unconscious and tied up. So they go to talk to Blair. Of course. And they get out there, and this is the funniest part is Blair's just chilling. There's a noose hanging from the fucking ceiling. And he's so calm. And he's just like, I'm better now. I want to come in. I don't want to be out here anymore. I'll be good. I promise.
Yeah. Plays off the noose, and they're all sitting there staring at it like, you good, buddy?
Are you sure you're okay?
You all right?
We're just going to trust you with this noose, okay? We're going to leave you here, though.
And we'll come back.
So they
give you some snacks.
They take off because he's no fucking help.
No.
And that's when they find Fuchs. And he has burned himself. He set himself on fire using a flare. There's no accelerant nearby. So, I mean, I know that a flare shoots off fire, but...
Do you think he found some fuel? Was there like a fuel...
Maybe he went to one of the tanks and doused himself, and then walked away from the building so that the building wouldn't catch when he set himself on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not explained, but this is the last of Fuchs. Fuchs is gone. He's dead. He set himself on fire because either he was afraid he was going to turn or didn't want to turn.
Or possibly didn't know if he was even turned.
Right. And we're never given an answer.
Yep.
Which I honestly like that little touch. Fuchs didn't offer a whole lot to the movie, not to downplay the character. He was necessary because...
Yeah, in a way he was necessary, but he was fodder at the same time.
Correct. Yeah. So at that point, MacReady and Knowles decide that they need to go out to MacReady's little shed,
Yep.
cabin, whatever you want to call it, and try and figure out why the fuck Fuchs went out there in the first place. And then we get a hard cut to the sun was sort of up, and now it's fucking night, and everyone's now waiting because they've decided, because of MacReady's decision, they decided to lock up the base. Mm-hmm. They're gonna barricade the doors, barricade the windows, so nothing can get in or out. And they're like, how long have they been out there? They've been out there for like 45 fucking minutes at this point.
It's felt like a day.
Norris noticed that Knowles is running up. Well, he notices somebody's running up, and it turns out it's Knowles. Knowles runs up, and he says that he cut MacReady loose out past the cabin, and then shows he has tucked in his jacket MacReady's jacket that's torn to shit with MacReady's name tag on it, and says he's turned.
Yeah.
Well, MacReady gets in anyway and decides he wants to prove that he's okay by holding a flare to TNT and saying that he'll blow us all sky high. They need to back off. Well, they pull the same thing that they did with Blair and try and get him from two different angles, and it works to a point. Well, MacReady knocks Norris back, and Norris hits the wall and starts shaking, and they're like, he's dead. He hit a fucking wall in a shelf and dies.
I mean, head trauma, heart attack, maybe all the stress.
He's a bigger dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, they bring him in to try and defib him.
Bring him back.
Yeah. So they defib him once, and then they pull back and go to do it again, and Norris's stomach opens wide open.
Fucking jump scare of the movie, and it's like, ah!
This is the single coolest moment. I would argue it's not, that moment is scary in itself as a jump scare, but it's not the most horrifying moment in the movie.
No.
So the arms go in, arms get bit off, then we get the full transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Norris...
Like the teeth in the stomach are all like jagged and rigid teeth, and it's just like, I have your arms now, ha ha ha, and just bites them off.
It looks like bone. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know teeth are bone, but it looks like
bone
ribs.
Bone and not like teeth normally would. But like his arms go really fucking far in there. It's kind of like an empty void.
Which makes me wonder, how hard was he going to hit him with the defibrillators?
Yeah, right?
Because that was some momentum.
Ah!
Yeah.
Live, damn you!
I said fucking live! Oh my god.
It's one of those moments, it's like, damn it, we've tried everything. Not everything.
Then it's the alien Norris head creature shoots out of the body and is hanging from the ceiling.
It like pulls and it's screaming.
Yeah.
And you see flesh just being pulled. It's one of those old school, not for the faint of heart, squeamish looking things. And there's three moments. Like Norris gets the coolest 3 moments of transformation. So we get the belly mouth. Yep.
We get this whole other creature that pops out of the belly, which is then immediately torched.
Yep.
And as that's being torched, Norris's head separates from its body and sprouts crab eyes and fucking spider legs.
Yep.
To which we get the greatest single line in horror history, in my opinion. is, you've got to be fucking kidding.
See, I heard a story that was like the first time some of them have seen that. Like the people that were in the room and when they saw it initially, but the reaction they caught for some of the characters was the first time they saw that like practical effect. And it's just like skidding into the room and they're just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. And that's something that had been used a lot back in like the 70s, 80s, even the 90s, was introducing the big scary part to the actors for the first time. Alien. Being one of those big ones with the chest bursting. It was the blood exploding that really got them all by surprise. And it had been years since I'd heard about that being something until when Skarsgård, all the child actors hadn't seen him as Pennywise until the first scene that they shot with him as Pennywise, and they were all genuinely terrified.
Yeah.
So they left that in because it's sheer terror.
Yeah.
So the spider head gets torched also. Yeah, it's crazy.
Such a great fucking practical effect.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
When I think of practical effects in horror movies, my brain goes to The Thing as well as multiple others, but right now The Thing is the only thing I can think of. It's
best.
Great.
It is some of the best shit ever. I mean, close second, I would say, would be Videodrome. Videodrome does body horror fucking fantastic. There's so many cool things. There's like a chest vagina and all that shit, and the fucking breathing cassette tape or VHS. I love practical anything. Give me any horror movie with practical, and I'm fucking sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they now at this point, trust has not been established still yet.
We don't know if anybody else is still infected, if he was the last one.
MacReady has figured out that if fire kills the aliens and everything's on a molecular level, like the smallest molecule from this alien can turn an entire person, then heat in general would affect anything that's infected.
So do you think the Thing would last out in, like, the middle of Nevada?
I mean, I'm sure it'd be fine. I think it's just the fire itself.
I kind of want to see... It would take away everything that made the Thing great, but like a normal day, the Thing, but it's in a normal like town or city or a higher populated area. Yeah. We could get a much bigger monster, like it could be Kaiju the Thing, but at the same point I feel like the desolation and the fact that it's this group of people, there is nothing else, and it's again a whodunit. Right. Instead of just like, it's somewhere in the city. We're fucked.
Do it in Oklahoma. Because there's so much nothing out there that would work, and it's fucking hot there also.
True.
I mean, and that's one of those things that begs the question, because even MacReady says it towards the end of the movie, is that the alien or the Thing isn't necessarily trying to escape. It wants to freeze because it wants to wait until a rescue team shows up so it can take over. It can go to somewhere more populated. It clearly is trying to escape at one point. We'll get to that in a second, though, because we're coming up pretty close to the end of the movie already. Yeah. This movie, like I said at the beginning of the episode, this movie doesn't let up. There's no room to breathe in this entire movie. I think the one moment you get to breathe is MacReady's captain's log. Yeah. Because it's just him talking, rewinding, drinking whiskey. He drinks a fuck ton of whiskey throughout this movie. Yep. Dude drinks at least 6 bottles. That's insanity. Yeah. Imagine all shit has hit the fan. And you're you're just what the fuck? Stranded out in the middle of nowhere, and your reaction is like, where's my fucking whiskey?
Wakes up in the morning, the entire base has exploded. What the fuck happened last night? That was a rager, dude.
God damn it, what did I do?
Shit. I'm sad I missed the party, guys. Man, tell me next time.
As a recovered alcoholic, I've slept through some crazy shit, so yeah, I've definitely drank at times I shouldn't have been drinking. We won't get into that, though. That's a whole different thing. But MacReady decides that he's going to heat a piece of wire. Everyone's going to put their blood in a petri dish, and he's just going to touch a hot wire to it.
I love this scene.
I do, too.
It is nail-biting suspension, and you're just like, everybody's here, but besides Blair, who the fuck is it? Is it the person that's not here? Is everybody fine? Is it everybody here?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, right before the blood test, though, it's the saddest fucking moment. I don't like it when it happens, but Clark decides to tackle McCready.
Mm-hmm.
McCready turns around and just shoots him right in the forehead.
Yep.
Kills Clark dead.
Yep.
God damn it. And he doesn't turn.
Yeah.
Which they end up doing his blood and Clark isn't infected. But I also feel like they shot the dog.
Yep.
And the dog just transformed into something fucking larger.
Yep.
And if Clark was infected or had been transformed, he would have turned. Like immediately. I feel like that would have been a dead giveaway. It's fire kills, nothing fucking else.
Fire bad.
Fire bad. So they do the blood tests. They go down the line, and then they get to my personal moment. This is the most horrifying moment in this movie to me. We find out that Palmer's infected.
Yep.
Palmer is the most like level-headed, chill dude throughout the entire movie. He's there the entire time. We see him. He's logical. He works with everybody. He's not so much against everybody, but his turning is the most amazing shit ever, and it's horrifying. Like, genuinely horrifying. He starts shaking. He has this blank stare on it, like blank look on his face, like nothing's affecting him.
He's still tied to two other people right next to him, and they're
On
like,
the couch.
fucking get me off this!
Yep. And it starts shaking, and his head slowly turns, and it cuts away, and then cuts back, and his face is bubbling out, and it's all distorted. You'll see, it's the shot I used for our beautiful title card for this episode. You'll see that. That is Palmer mid-transformation, or actually the beginning of the transformation. But he changes, it's intense. He ends up flying up to the ceiling, because apparently gravity doesn't mean shit to these things. And they're trying to there are two flamethrowers in the room. Windows has the other flamethrower. And Windows tries to get close to do it, and Palmer gets him.
Yep.
And it is one of the most hilarious fucking moments. This is fucking Palmer's head splits open and then gnaws down on top of Windows' head. And they're just he's like holding his hands, and they're just like flipping him up in the air. It's like the worst dummy action ever. It's so fucking funny. And then he throws Windows across the room. His face is all bloody. It works. The flamethrower works, and Palmer's on fire. Walks through a wall, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Walks out into the snow, and then McCready just throws a stick of dynamite at him and blows him to smithereens.
Yeah.
Turns around, and Windows is now infected, and they set him on fire. Now, I kind of wish that the Windows being on fire scene lasted 10 seconds longer.
Yeah.
The way that he's seated on the floor and the way that his legs move, because it's a puppet, right? Like, it's animatronic, but his legs move really weird. I don't know how to describe it. You'll see it when you see it, but his legs move really weird, and I wish I could see more of it because it seems alien.
Yeah.
It's a lot of these actions and motions and, like, the things are turning these people into are not human.
Yeah, it's horrifying and unnatural, and it's hard on the eyes because you're sitting there just going, this has been a person the entire movie, and now they're just like, not. It's something horrifying.
Yeah. So everybody gets released. I think Gary's got the best line because he's the last one to get tested because he's the one that nobody trusts.
Now fucking untie me!
Yeah. He's just like, he's fine. He's not infected. And he goes, if you don't mind, I'd really like to not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking couch. Well, they're all fine. McCready's technically a murderer because he killed
Clark.
Clark wasn't infected. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, so then they decide to go out and check on Blair because now they need to test Blair.
Yep.
And as they get out there, the door's wide open. And they're like, all right, but it was unlocked from the outside, not the inside, is what they realize. And then they notice that there's something wrong with the floorboards. They pick it up, and there's a fucking tunnel.
Of course.
Underneath this thing. They go down, and there's a UFO being built.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm going to bring it back. This is why I brought this up. In the beginning was, do you think Blair was the first infected? Did he destroy the helicopter and all of the radio stuff because he needed it for parts to build a UFO? Because all of the parts that the UFO is built out of are all helicopter and radio parts. Like the outer layer of it.
That's impressive.
They're the panels on the outside of the radio, the radio systems.
Yeah.
that were inside the base. So was it a coincidence? Did Blair do this like uninfected to make sure nobody left? And it just happened to be he turned and the alien was like, "Hey, dude, good work. Like this is
Thanks, man.
This is everything we needed." Or was he already turned and he was just like, "Well, I can destroy this and play it off that this is why."
Yeah.
Because I need these parts. We never get a fucking answer.
Nope.
Because McCready blows that fucking spaceship up.
Yeah.
he just hucks a fucking piece of dynamite down there. A piece of dynamite? A slice of dynamite.
A little sliver of dynamite.
Yeah, just a sliver. The only one that wasn't out there with them was Childs.
Yep.
They notice Childs just bolt. He takes off, runs into the fucking darkness. No answer why. Don't know why. But he does it.
God damn it. Not Keith David.
Yep.
Anyone but Keith David.
This is when McCready has made the decision. We need to fucking destroy everything.
Yep.
We can't give the alien any warm spot to be. We need to bring it out to the cold. If we heat up everything with fire, then it's either burning itself to death or it's going to freeze itself. And if it's frozen, then we can kill it, sort of situation.
Yeah.
So they destroy their outpost with dynamite, that sequence is insane. They're just throwing a stick of dynamite in every single room.
Yeah.
And each room is exploding one by one.
It's a bold move, especially for the climate and place they are.
Yeah.
What is their next step after they do this? Like, say it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Say it worked. Everybody's still good. If they want, they can retest the blood, and thing dies or thing's at least frozen.
Right.
What do they do when the sun comes up?
McCready brings it up a couple of times where he's like, "We have to kill this. There's a good chance we're not going to make it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to sacrifice ourselves to make sure that this doesn't leave here." So that's
it's pretty much we are going to die no matter what.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they destroy the base. Then they go down. It is Gary and Knowles and McCready go down to where the generator is, where they assume that the alien is hiding. The thing is hiding. And they're going to rig the entire thing. They're going to blow up from underneath up to take everything down. And they go out to set up dynamite. They do the one thing you're not supposed to do in a horror movie, and they fucking split up. It's the dumbest thing. They've been sticking together this whole time, and they've been fine. And then they split up, and Blair shows up.
I just love how it's like, okay, cool. Blair is definitely infected because he just shows up, just blank stare, and it's just like, die.
And yeah, he kills Gary with finger fucking his face.
Pretty much.
He just grabs him by the face, and his fingers are embedded into Gary's skin. It's the most intense shit ever. And it's interesting because he clearly kills him. He's also taking him over.
Yeah.
But then he just walks away, and he's just got him his face stretched out, and he's just dragging him behind him. Like he's a bag of trash.
Get off. God damn it.
Knowles is killed off camera. We don't see it. We don't even fucking hear anything happen.
Yeah.
Which means Blair's probably he's the best thing that there is. He's a silent killer. It's pretty good. But McCready realizes that he's the last one standing when he asks, how's it going? Nobody responds. And he goes to say it again and then stops and just goes, well, shit. All right. Well, I guess it's time to fucking really blow this shit up.
Yep.
Then the wooden floorboards that are underground start popping up, and this is when we get to see the big reveal of the Blair thing. It's got Blair's face and a giant mouth sticking out one side.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, an enormous dog body in the middle of it.
Yep.
And there's so many details in it, but the cuts are too fast.
Yep. And it's disposed of pretty quickly too.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But it leads to my favorite line of the movie.
Yeah.
It just shows up, growls. It's like, oh, what is fun? And then McCready just goes, yeah, well, fuck you too. Throws dynamite at him and blows him up.
I love that he gets the dynamite knocked out of his hand. He grabs it and then just does a jump barrel roll.
Yep.
To throw the dynamite.
Yep.
Like, sir, that was not necessary, but it looked cool.
It was for style. Come on now.
Style for him and him alone. So yeah, he blows the fucking thing sky high. That's when McCready finds a semi-covered area that isn't completely destroyed or on fire and plops himself down.
With a nice bottle of whiskey.
Yep. And Childs reappears. And MacReady asks, "Where have you been?" And they just kind of go, "Well, we're both the only ones left. If either of us is affected, it doesn't matter now. This is what's going to happen."
Now
that's the end of the movie.
It pans out, and here we don't truly know if there's another thing. There has been several things since then that have leaned into theory as to reasons why either MacReady or Childs both could be the thing.
I wrote this down, and I wanted to ask you the question first. I'm going to make a statement, but then I'm going to leave this up to you.
Who do you think?
Here's the thing.
Ha-ha!
There you go. The alien cannot reproduce unorganic things.
Mm-hmm.
Child has an ear piercing. At the last scene, he has an earring.
Mm-hmm.
That's there. Now, if the thing had taken him over, that wouldn't be there.
It would have rejected it.
Correct. Now, at the same time, the last shot is MacReady with the bottle of whiskey handing the bottle to Childs. And as Childs takes it, MacReady does a half smile and a giggle.
Yep.
The movie then ends. If one small little thing can take over another human, is MacReady an alien and just now did the same thing to Childs?
See, there is that one, but I also heard one about the oxidation of breath.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see oxidation, I believe it's on MacReady, but not on Childs. What?
Well, that would mean that the first person to turn wasn't actually turned, because as soon as he opens his mouth, there's a bunch of steam that comes out.
Again, if my fucking internet worked, I would have been able to have a better argument for this.
I miss dial-up.
Quick, let me make a call.
Mom, hang up the phone. I'm searching porn.
I'm playing pinball.
Yeah, one-handed pinball. I mean, pinball technically is one-handed.
Jesus Christ.
You gotta pull the stick out. We're leaving that in, and that too.
We're still talking about pinball, right?
Sometimes. So yeah, that's 1982's John Carpenter's The Thing. It is my literal all-time favorite horror movie. In my opinion, there is nothing fucking wrong with this movie.
No.
You come at me and try and argue me on anything being wrong with this movie, and I will make you cry. I will destroy you as a human. I will cut down to the core of who you are as a person and make you reevaluate your life.
I will destroy you on a molecular level.
Quite literally. I will turn you into a thing.
I will end you.
You heard it here.
I will massacre you.
But yeah, that is. I love that movie. I got to see it for the first time in a movie theater
with Chachi
last October, and it was like a stadium-sized fucking screen. It was huge. So when Chachi bought the tickets for us to go see it, the tickets were only $5. They said they were in a specific theater, theater number. So we walked into it. And there were some fucking kids movie playing, and I was like, this isn't it. But the screen was like a quote-unquote normal-sized movie screen. And so we walked out, and the girl at the ticket counter was like, "I'm so sorry, it switched theaters. It's going to be in this one." Mm-hmm. We walked into the theater, and I was like, "Good Lord, sir."
This was $5 for this ticket?
The screen was huge! The minute the title screen popped up, I immediately started crying. Immediately. I was like, this is the greatest moment of my life. I'm so happy I'm getting to see this right now. Chachi leaned over and he's like, "Are you crying?" I was like, "Yeah, dude."
Shut up. Don't judge me. Fuck off.
Of course I'm fucking crying. This is amazing. I'm so happy right now.
So then let me pose the question to you. How many out of 10 terrifying dog monster things with faces peeling back would you give this out of 10?
1,000.
All right. That's how math works, kids. Again.
What about you?
Same as our episode last week, bringing more than tens of your personal favorite. Good. That's great. Not bringing like an 8 or shit.
Yeah.
I love this movie. I don't think I could. There's times where it's like a 9 and a 10, but I can't really give it a reason why it would be a 9 versus a 10. It is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I think it's just because I'm sitting there going like, I've seen this movie so many times, and yet I still don't know who the fuck is infected.
Right. And I think that feeds towards the rewatch value.
Yeah.
Also, because it depends on the mood you're in. When you're watching it, you can draw so many different conclusions throughout the movie yourself. But it always comes down to the end of the movie. Are either of them infected? Are both, obviously not both of them, but are neither of them infected?
Yeah.
Is McCready infected? Like, you never know. It's not Childs.
Yeah.
He has an earring.
What if McCready just all of a sudden was like, you know what? We're going to die anyway. Here's my change of character.
Well, here's the other thing. That McCready throws that fucking dynamite and the fuse is down, like down to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the wide shot. That is a fucking explosion and a half.
Yeah.
That's huge. There's no way he got out in time. We're assuming that he is superhuman fast and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Hid under something that somehow didn't affect him enough to fucking kill him. Or he threw it, the alien got him just in the nick of time, turned him.
Yeah.
And the explosion did nothing to him.
But who's infected?
God damn it, John Carpenter, for being one of the greatest of all time.
How so very dare you?
We love John Carpenter. We worship at the Church of John Carpenter here. We absolutely
Good old
adore him.
JC.
Yep. All right, so that is the end of episode 2 of season 2 of our top threes.
Two, three.
Do you want to do your little spoiler of next week's episode?
Yes. So next week, we will be having like part 1 of 2000. We will be starting on my personal favorites of the Universal monsters, starting with my number 1 monster, the Wolfman.
Yeah,
from
buddy.
1941. It's going to be a 2-parter. We're going to have the Wolfman, and then the week after is going to be Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
Oh.
Which has Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman in it.
It won't actually be the following week. It'll be a week after that. So it'll be
yes.
Because on the 22nd,
Yup.
we have a awesome guest. You've already seen it announced.
Our third co-host.
Chris O'Brockie, is coming back. And we're going to be doing a live stream for the anniversary of Halloween 4. And you've seen the post already. Chris is going to show up in full costume for us. Hopefully, we'll both have some costumes on also to just kind of fit the mood of things.
Feel better about ourselves, looking so schlubby in comparison to Chris and just killing it as usual.
And if we don't have costumes, we definitely have a prop here in the studio that we can have in the background looming over us the entire time. I know I'll be wearing at least a Halloween piece of merchandise. I have so many. It's ridiculous. All right. Well, that's that. Who do you have anyone you want to thank this week?
As per usual, thank you, Rob, for starting this wonderful adventure that we've gone on. Thank you to those that are continuing to listen and supporting us with all the wonderful stuff that we get to do and just sit here and talk about horror movies, good and bad. The people who reach out and follow and download all the episodes that we do, it's fantastic having just people out there in the world that enjoy this. And I know I've got a few friends that want to come on and talk horror movies. Like I've got one friend who will be coming on to talk about my Halloween new canon episode.
Yeah, buddy.
But more people that are just like, can I do this? Can we do this? Want to talk about this? So it's fantastic. That's who I want to thank. Rob?
Well, I want to lead into what you just finished off saying there too, is we've been saying since day one, Spoiler Sleepover was started by us. Like this is we're the hosts. We do this. We enjoy doing this. We love doing this. But this is podcast. It's your podcast. It's the listeners. It's you guys' podcast.
The suckers.
We're here to just give you a platform to talk. If you want to come on,
reach out to us.
Yeah. You can reach out to us, and the answer is yes. Like, we're never going to say no unless you're coming on and you want to watch, like, a Serbian film. Then we're going to tell you you're probably on the wrong podcast.
Get help.
Yeah. This is your fucking podcast. Plain and simple. You're the suckers. This is the sleepover. You've all been invited. It's here for you. So I'll get into my thank yous. I want to thank everybody that's been interacting with the stories on Instagram. I've been posting whatever I've been watching and asking you what you've been watching. And then I'm reposting what you guys are watching. We want to know what you're watching. We're genuinely interested in knowing what's been keeping you guys up at night.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's kind of like secret research. Like, all right, people are watching X, Y, and Z movies. I'm seeing a lot of people watching much, much older movies.
Yeah.
Recently, too. But this is giving us ideas for future episodes. And if you've posted something you're watching and we're both intrigued, one of us is going to reach out to you. Be like, hey, do you want to come on and do that one with us? Even though Jason Michael's back and we're doing this full time now and we know when our season break actually is now.
Yes.
That does not mean we're not going to have guest co-hosts on anymore. We're still having guest co-hosts. You guys are welcome to do that. So yeah, I wanted to thank all of you suckers out there. Again, I need to thank my girlfriend because I'm an idiot and fucking forgot my notes for the episode this week. And so she had to take pictures and text them to me. So thank you, Nicole. I want to thank everybody out there, suckers, and anyone within the Nerd Camp umbrella that sent me happy birthday wishes. My birthday was just a handful of days ago.
And he's
6th.
old.
I'm real fucking old. Everything hurts.
Everything clicks when he moves.
That's actually not a lie. That's a true story.
As my ankle just clicked.
Yeah. I'm saving this for the last one. I have a huge thank you and announcement.
This fucking rules.
And you're going to be hearing about this a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank a friend of mine, Anna. I met Anna earlier this year when I was working for the catering company. She was working for these people that I was doing the catering for. I don't want to get into too much detail, but she was there. She gave me an obscene amount of delicious, amazing vegan cookies. And I was like, wow, these are really fucking good. She said, well, I'm glad you like them. I'm actually looking at starting a business. And I said, that's really cool. Are they going to be all vegan? She said, I'm not entirely sure, but most of them will be. I said, that's really cool. Willow Tree Bakery is now the official first sponsor of Spoiler Sleepover.
Woo! Cookie sponsor!
So you're going to be hearing a lot more about Willow Tree.
I'm excited for this.
Anna is an amazing baker. She makes some just fantastic cookies. She's got vegan Muddy Buddies. She's got vegan pies. I mean, she does everything. We have so much planned, so much coming up. And stay tuned because you're not just going to be hearing about this. You're going to see her food, her baked goods, on all of our live streams.
Mm-hmm.
We've got it worked out. So you'll hear about Willow Tree Bakery every episode, top and the bottom. She is our sponsor. It is fucking fantastic.
Cue Homer drooling, thinking about donuts.
So Anna, thank you so much. We're
Thank
so
you.
excited to be teaming up with you. And stay tuned because we've got some real cool shit coming with the bakery itself.
It's going to be fucking ridiculous.
In the near future. So that's the end of that episode. So until next week, sleep tight, suckers.
Cookies!
Cookies!
Thank you for listening to this episode of Spoiler Sleepover. But the fun doesn't stop here. Go follow us on Instagram at Spoiler Sleepover and check out our website www.spoilersleepover.com. It'll be fantastic of you. So until next time, sleep tight, suckers.
Spoiler Sleepover is sponsored by Willow Tree Kitchen.
Willow Tree Kitchen is a one-woman owned and operated bakery currently slinging delicious vegan cookies, mixes, and baked goods out of Kitchen Local in Amesbury, Mass.
Follow Willow Tree Kitchen _ on Instagram or go to their website at willowtreekitchen.com for more.